12-year-old girl, Regan McNeil, finds herself possessed by an evil spirit. To save her, two priests must perform an exorcism on her, leading to a battle between good and evil like no other. Hello everyone, welcome to another book review on my channel. I know it's been a while since I posted the Jaws one, which was 10 days ago, I'm pretty sure. This time we are going to be reviewing The Exorcist by William Peter Blatty. Also, sorry if you hear like a background noise or maybe another video or something. My brother is watching TV in the other room, and our rooms are right next to each other, and the walls are very thin, and his TV is up against the wall, and he fell asleep with the remote while the TV's still on, and it's like a short, so it repeats itself. It's just... So if there's background noise, I'm sorry. Well, yeah, without further ado, let's get into the review. Alright, before I actually start reviewing the book, I'm going to get this out of the way first. Now, don't get me wrong, I still think this is a very good book. It was very well written. The story was very good. I just don't think it deserves the title of the scariest book ever written. Now, I've only read a few horror books since, I'm just starting out this whole, thing. But just based off, I think Tenders the Flesh, or maybe even It, are scarier than this book. I didn't get scared by them. I just think they're objectively scarier than The Exorcist. Now, I could see how The Exorcist could be scary for someone in 1971, which was the year that was published. But just nowadays, it's really not that scary. It's a good story, it's just not scary. Alright, with that out of the way, now I'm going to actually, do my regular format of things I like, things I didn't like, and stuff like that. So, yeah, let's go. Alright, first thing I want to say on the review is, this book probably has... I know I said Tenders of Flesh had the most disturbing scene I'd ever read before, but I think this new scene takes the cake. If you've read the book or seen the movie, you probably know what scene I'm talking about, but you might be thinking of something else, so I'm just gonna tell you what happens in the scene. So it starts when they find a crucifix under Regan's pillow, who's the main girl. And then at first you're like, oh, what are they going to do with this crucifix? And then they don't really mention it until the end of the chapter, where she starts violently stabbing herself in the genitals with the crucifix to the point where she's bleeding. And this is at a point in the book where Regan's personality is still the most prominent, and not the demons. So you hear, they describe how Regan's screaming, and it's just a really disturbing scene to read. Now, I know I said the puppy scene was the most disturbing thing I've read in Tenders of the Flesh, but this definitely tops that. I thought the characters, they were written very well, except for... I haven't read many books from the 70s, but the only other one I've read from the 70s is Jaws. The way the characters kind of talked in the book it was kind of weird. The way he worded it made it sound like a 16-year-old is trying to sound cool. Let me try to find an example. All right, right here it says, "How you feeling?" With a Y and an A instead of, how it would properly be spelled. But just, that's not even the worst example. It says, I dunno, dunno. It's, I don't know. It's just something about that kind of throws me off when reading it, but it might not bother you. It personally bothered me, but it might not for you. I thought that the way the deaths of the priests were handled at the end were kind of, I thought they were good, but it was a little, I think it was a little like dodgy. I don't know if that's the sorry, I don't know if that's the right word to use. That's just how I feel about it personally. Also, they had this subplot that I'm kind of mixed on. It was this detective I'm pretty sure his name was Kinderman, and he trying to solve the case of this other character in the book named Burke Dennings, who fell out of Reagan's window and died. Now, it's never kind of resolved in the book. I liked I liked Kinderman's character, but it was kind of a useless subplot considering it never got resolved. And there were 2 entire chapters just dedicated to this subplot that I feel like could have been scrapped, but I still like Kinderman as a character. So I'm kind of mixed on that. Also, I thought the way they handled the mix with religion and like science, I thought they handled that really well, where you could be any religion or you can not be religious at all and you could still enjoy this book. Except maybe towards the end, if you're not religious, they kind of have religious elements, so if you get offended by that, you might not want to read this. But yeah, there's not much else I really want to say on the book. I thought it was very good, probably like a 4.5 out of 10. And sorry if this one ends up being shorter. I kind of filmed it. It's late at night. I filmed it on a whim, so yeah. Well, that is the end of the Exorcist book review, and thank you for watching. See you next time.